There's no doubt about it. Good old Kyle brings out the real crazies everywhere he goes, and Tennessee was no exception. He recently presented at East Tennessee State University, and a lot of people didn't like it. So we're going to hear from them and laugh. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With cold, blunt analysis, cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
Some East Tennessee State University students from the Chattanooga area are opting out of school today after sharing their concerns about an event being hosted by a campus organization. Kyle Rittenhouse is scheduled to speak at the university tonight.
Oh, the horror. And these students are so upset that they are opting out of going to school. Right, as if they really need an excuse for that.
Now, you may recall Rittenhouse was acquitted in 2020 for first-degree intentional homicide.
You hear that? Acquitted. Let that soak in.
Students across ETSU's campus tell me flyers like this have been floating around social media for weeks, and it has several parents and students feeling uneasy.
Wow, okay, let's read this. ASL interpreters will be there. Oh my God. They're going to have those ASL interpreters coming to campus. They're probably carrying guns. And then the Rittenhouse recap with Kyle Rittenhouse. And get free tickets now. Wow. Man, that would really have me worried. Like, what do they think is really going to happen? And what really did happen? Nothing.
I spoke to a few of those parents and students, and some tell me they feel like tonight's event will be chaotic, while others feel it will be the opposite. Dr. Dre Anthony Taylor II is the...
Well, there will be one side that's bringing chaos and the other side that's not. Guess which one is which?
The uncle of an ETSU student. He says he read comments on social media about an event on Thursday night with Kyle Rittenhouse as the speaker.
There's a rumor that it's going to be people coming to the rally who will have weapons,
Wow, what a nice, soft-spoken man. He's so calm. He just parses out those words so carefully. This is Dr. J. Anthony Taylor II, and I have a little bit of a tip for you news people. Don't put doctor in front of their names. It's just J. Anthony Taylor II. I'm not saying that his doctorate is illegitimate. I don't even know. But it's just a matter of style. You typically don't do that.
will have weapons, in support of their Second Amendment rights.
He believes the safest option is for his nephew to be back home.
And by the way, his uncle is a pastor. And here he goes.
You want your bank account? Be open. The unsaved husband. Be open. That sick body. Be open. Somebody shout, be open. Be open. Be open. I dare you to get your wallet. Get your checkbook. Get your purse. Open it up and say empathy.
So we had a rap gospel song about opening up your checkbook. Hey, it's not my church, so it's none of my concern, but I just found that to be rather odd.
The event is hosted by Turning Point USA ETSU chapter, which is an organization whose mission is to identify, educate, train, and organize students to promote freedom,
as well as create a community where students who disagree are able to foster political discussions in a respectful way.
Oh, fostering political discussions. Oh, in a respectful way. That's so fascist.
Derrick is the chapter's president and co-founder. She says even though the group has gotten a lot of pushback on social media regarding tonight's event, she tells me the organization wanted to bring Rittenhouse to campus to give him a fair chance to clear his name in the public eye.
People are still alleging on our Facebook and Instagram that he killed 3 Black people, when in reality he shot 3 white people in self-defense, resulting in the death of 2 men.
However, Logan Taylor, who is chair of Young Democrat Socialists of America at ETSU, says Rittenhouse coming to the campus is a negative image for the university.
Young Democrat Socialists. Okay.
And the group started a petition with over 1,000 signatures to stop him from coming.
We all pay tuition. We all go here, and we expect a safe space.
Wait a minute, the people on the opposite side of the fence, they pay tuition too. Why aren't you taking that into consideration?
He says they're not getting that, and they feel the university isn't doing much to provide students with a safe place during tonight's event. We reached out to the university, and they told us, quote, student groups have the right to invite guest speakers of their choosing to campus under the First Amendment, as well as the Tennessee's Campus Free Speech Act. In other words, ETSU cannot legally prohibit the event under the U.S. Constitution and state law.
Okay, so they want a safe space for the event that night. Wherever you see the event taking place on campus, be on the other side of campus and you're probably going to be pretty safe. But that's not where they will be. No, they'll grab their bullhorns and they'll grab their signs and they'll head right over to be as close as possible to the speech, and all those people who are gun lunatics that are carrying guns to the event that are going to open fire on them at any moment. Because that's what I always do when I have a group coming onto campus that I think are deranged lunatics and armed. I always get in their face with bullhorns and shout them down. They're just so disingenuous. They don't believe their own statements. They do have safe spaces on campus. Literally any building on campus is a safe space if they so choose to want it to be. They can go to the library. They can go to the coffee shop. They can go anywhere they want. No one's going to open fire on them. And as proof, no one did. They had the event and nobody got shot. I doubt anybody even saw a gun that night.
ETSU may only cancel an event if it poses a legitimate threat to public safety.
So do you see the strategy? Now, they didn't do it here at ETSU, but this has been used a lot. And that is the campus, and this is Berkeley especially, the campus can cancel an event that we don't like if it poses a threat to public safety. So what we will do is we will incite violence and then use that violence to say this is a threat to public safety and you have to cancel the event. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. They do this. And if you think that that's rewarding people for acting violently, you are right. That's exactly what it is.
But that doesn't mean you just sweep under the rug over 1,000 people's concerns.
You absolutely do. You have a bunch of people who don't want to have a person come onto campus who's entitled to be there if the campus wants them to be. And therefore, your concerns are swept under the rug. Fuck you, little asshole. You don't get to tell others who they can and cannot listen to, but oh, you want to. You absolutely want to.
Taylor says his organization is holding a march and rally in opposition of Rittenhouse coming to their campus.
Well, wait a minute now. This march and rally could be dangerous. There might be a lot of pro-Kyle people who might show up and cause a lot of mayhem. They might open fire. I guess we better cancel that rally because it poses a threat to public safety. Black Lives Matter. Kyle shot 3 white dudes. Okay.
Turning Point USA President Lakey Derrick invited Rittenhouse to speak. She says the purpose of the event was to hear his side of what happened in 2020 and cultivate new ideas.
Be able to foster a good political discourse amongst disagreeing students and community members, as well as agreeing student community members, and be able to just see a good conversation.
However, protesters say having Rittenhouse on campus is appalling.
It's very frustrating that we're having to be out here for something that is, to me, an obvious answer of injustice.
Obvious injustice. Okay, so let's see how obvious it is. All 12 members of the jury got to see the entire sequence of shootings on video. They heard from numerous eyewitnesses. All 12 unanimously agreed it was self-defense, and according to her, the injustice is obvious. I'm sorry, but the 12 jurors disagree with you, so it can't be too obvious.
And the fact that he is now going to speak on the lies when he murdered 2 people at a Black Lives Matter protest.
Yeah, he murdered 2 people at a Black Lives Matter protest. By the way, this is Carly Blaylock. She's a blowhard activist and she shows up a lot. But let's get a few things clear. One, it wasn't murder because murder is unlawful killing, and a jury already acquitted him. And you might say, oh, well, the jury didn't proclaim him innocent. He's innocent until proven guilty, and you weren't able to prove that he was guilty. So he's innocent in the eyes of the law, and since murder is unlawful killing, then that's a little bit of a problem for your argument. And also, it was not a BLM protest. Give me a break. Anybody that watched what happened realizes it was not a protest. It was a full-blown riot. But she wouldn't know. She didn't see any of it. She didn't watch the trial. She didn't see any of the verdicts. She didn't see any of the video footage. And she never looked up any of the laws that applied to the situation at all. Zero. She didn't do any of that. All of what she knows, she gleaned from social media.
There's just something extremely wrong about that. Unethical, just disgusting.
When asked what Derek thought of the protest, she said that it's their right, but urged them to attend and hear from Rittenhouse.
And I do wish that they would just come in with an open mind, ask questions.
Open mind? Oh, look who you're talking to.
And maybe even have their minds change. And obviously, if not, air their grievances. Either way, that's really what we're here to do.
Rittenhouse.
And they're airing their grievances. I don't have any problem with that. I just think that their opinions are stupid.
Opened with his own account of what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, saying he was thankful he was acquitted because he knew he was innocent.
They put me on trial for defending myself.
Yeah, we know, Kyle.
And sometimes I think, like, what would have happened if they would have killed me? Would they have prosecuted the people who killed me if I would have died? And I don't think they would have.
Rittenhouse was also faced with questions about the support he's received and why he's qualified to talk about gun rights.
Well, I'm actually a political consultant for Texas gun rights. I'm a writer for them, and I write articles. And I researched gun laws recently. We actually just had a win in the state of Texas, in the Eastern District.
Okay, you're not a political consultant, okay? Come on, Kyle. Look, I don't have any problem with you kind of playing up your role in gun rights, but that's a bit much. But that's a minor nit. Don't get all worked up, everybody. I absolutely love the fact that he has the freedom to get up there and speak if he wants to. Okay, let's take a look at another one. And it's going to get even worse.
So I'm here today to support the voices that are protesting the event that Turning Point USA is holding on campus. I think bringing somebody who has killed people, who is just gun-toting and inciting violence, basically, is unacceptable.
Kyle is inciting violence? You show me anything that he has said or done that is inciting violence. And that includes video footage of that night in Kenosha. Go for it. I'd love to see it.
There is an entire dimension about the hate speech that he has demonstrated before in his own writing and in his own videos and in his own show online.
Really? Okay, show me the hate speech. I would love to see it. Who does he hate? Just because he has opposing political opinions doesn't make what he says hate speech. Sorry, dude.
That's also unacceptable. And what I'm, concerned about is that it seems that it's always a one-sided issue. Like everybody agrees, with these kinds of messages that go out. And I'm here because we do not agree. Many people in Washington County do not agree with that kind of rhetoric.
Are you kidding me? You go to a college campus and it's overwhelmingly leftist. And the speakers that they bring on board are almost always leftist. Having a conservative speaker is a rarity. And whenever they do show up, the protests come out. I'm telling you, leftists show up on campus all the time, give speeches, and conservatives typically leave them alone.
And we want to make sure that that point of view, the counterpoint of view, is also visible and heard by people.
We are about trying to get a little bit more common sense into gun laws here in Tennessee.
Common sense means gun laws that agree with my political view.
Doesn't mean that we're against the Second Amendment. I want to make sure that's perfectly clear. We do not condone or condemn the Second Amendment.
But they do.
You're right, but we do want to make sure that everybody has common sense when it comes to gun safety and gun laws. We don't believe giving a person like Kyle Rittenhouse a voice really goes towards common sense protecting our community.
So you don't believe in giving Kyle Rittenhouse a voice. So you're a big defender of the Second Amendment, but you're not too hot on that First Amendment. Can you believe this?
That is just not what this campus should be about, and the city should not be about allowing somebody like that a voice when really what does he bring to an institution of higher learning, which ETSU is supposed to be an institution of higher learning for this community.
What does it bring? It brings an opposing viewpoint from a person who has a certain perspective because he used a rifle to defend his life. Kyle is no scholar, okay? I'm not saying he is, but he does have a unique perspective. Unlike David Hogg, who claims he's a victim, Kyle Rittenhouse was actually in the mix. Oh, and by the way, he would have no trouble with David Hogg showing up on campus giving a speech. No, because that's the essence of the First Amendment is free speech. You can't make this up.
Unfortunately, I wish we could get out of here on better terms, but it's another instance of hateful individual on our campus.
Hateful individual? Okay, tell us who he hates and how you know that.
It's upsetting that ETSU won't put out any statements or anything whatsoever, any resources for people to go threaten.
So you want them to take a stance on your side of the political spectrum, and you're upset because they're not going to. Gee, that's too bad. But the last time I looked, ETSU was a public agency. And perhaps it is best that public agencies don't come out and espouse one viewpoint over the other. What if ETSU came out and said, well, we listened to Kyle Rittenhouse and by golly, we are on his side. All of a sudden, you would turn around and say they should be quiet. They should keep their mouths shut. They have no business voicing these political opinions. I'm a tuition-paying student. They don't speak for me. That's exactly what they would say.
Because there's a large amount of us that do feel very concerned about what might happen in this facility.
So you feel threatened. Okay, so why are you anywhere near these people? Why aren't you on the other side of campus at a safe distance? You don't feel threatened whatsoever. There is nobody there at that rally that fears anyone on the pro-Kyle side coming in and shooting anybody. This is all fabricated. It's phony. You can't believe a word these people say.
They should have thought about this a little bit more before inviting him in. And that's why we're here. Again, we're here for common sense laws. We're here to try to look for ways to talk to people, to discuss the issues, and maybe we can find a common ground to help protect our children.
Wait, we're here to talk to people, listen to perspectives? Really? Well, okay. Could have fooled me.
Because we don't want more massacres. We don't want more killings.
Okay, so how many massacres and killings happened because of the Kyle Rittenhouse appearance at ETSU? Okay, wait a minute here. It says, after speaking in the quad, protesters took their demonstration across the street to the Brinkley Center, where Turning Point USA had scheduled Kyle Rittenhouse's appearance. They're going over to the park where all those people who have guns are showing up, and you know that these people are looking for any excuse to shoot people, so they're going to go over there and get in their face about it, okay? Like I say, it's so disingenuous. Well, there you have it. Conservative group shows up on campus. Everybody shrieks in terror, claims that they're not feeling safe, that they need safe spaces from these monsters, and then they march and get in their faces. It's the same story every time. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.